For preparation, I'm squeezing out some paint from the tube. You can also use a pre-made paint tin, but it would be easier to use tube paint for a more saturated outcome. We're going to paint using wet on wet technique, and this technique helps us to blend colors more easily, but it can also leave us with a duller result. So use paints directly from the tubes will help us achieve a more vivid and saturated result. So the paints I'm using are Imidazolone yellow from Holbein, Quinacridone permanent rose from Mijello, and Imperial purple from Daniel Smith. Imperial purple is a granulation color, and this creative combination with regular paints will add a mysterious feeling to the result. Neither Holbein or Mijello are very dispersive, which is important for today's painting, as I want it to be easy to control. After I'm done with the paints, I'm preparing 3 brushes. I'm going to load each color on a brush and put them aside safely so they won't touch and contaminate each other. Now we can start painting. I'm washing the whole page with the clean water using a thick brush. And then I'm adding each color one after another loosely. We don't have to paint each color evenly today's painting. Now I'm expanding the wet area to the whole page. To avoid it becoming too flat and rigid, I'm adding some yellow here and there in some of the reddish areas. If your painting has some rigid edges before the paper is dry, you can use a slightly damp brush to soften these edges a little, but take care not to overdo it. Now the background is done. I'm waiting for it to be 100% dry now, and now we can start painting the flowers. I'm going to freestyle without drawing any guidelines. However, if you prefer to draw some guidelines, you can perhaps draw a few curved lines to show where each flower will go and how the stems will appear. I'm loading some Imperial purple to a brush and painting some dots into rounded shapes. Then I'm using another wet clean brush to extend the dots into rounded shapes. To make it more natural, avoid painting the roundish petals too evenly in size or direction. Now I'm going to connect these tiny petals with a curved stem. The brush I'm using is a medium-sized black velvet brush. You can also use a thinner brush with a fine point or a liner brush, as long as you feel comfortable painting a fine line with it. A tip to make this flower look natural is to avoid making this line too solid. So keep a loose grip and make sure the brush tip touches and lifts off from the paper every now and then. And I'm adding some details using a liner brush. Next, I'm painting another one using the same technique. I'm now painting some other flowers which will appear further away towards the background, and they will be darker compared to those in the front. And when I'm painting these flowers, I'm going to dab slightly bigger dots than I did previously for the foreground flowers. Adding a little water to extend each petal and blend them into the background. And the size of these flowers can be a little bit smaller too. Now I'm going to add some white flowers in the front to add more of a dreamy and festive wintry vibe. Then I'll add some translucent and opaque roundouts using white ink as decorative elements.